All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the September 11th meeting of the Ames Community School District Board of Directors. I will call the meeting to order and entertain a motion to approve the agenda. So moved.
Second.
Moved by Winfrey, seconded by Becker. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes 6-0. And then we will go ahead and put our mission statement up on the screen. We are not going to read it out loud, but we will give you a minute to read it for yourself. Okay. And the next item on our agenda this evening is our celebrations and recognitions. And this evening we are recognizing a Steinway donation from Cynthia Martin, and I will turn it over to Amy DeLashman.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Ames High is the recipient of a wonderful donation of a Steinway piano from Cynthia Martin. Cynthia, would you stand up, please? Martin has what many would call a storied history in the Ames Community School District. She is a 1972 Ames High School graduate who participated in band, orchestra, and chorus. While at AHS, she was inspired by a teacher to go into music education, which is exactly what Martin did. She came back to Ames as a music teacher in the fall of 1982 and retired in 2012. While mostly an elementary music teacher, she did also assist at the high school and most recently with Mary Kay Palashik. According to Martin, I was more involved with the high school orchestra after my retirement. I continued subbing mostly for Mary Kay, and I am thrilled that the music department will be able to use this in the orchestra room. Martin explained that this is the perfect place for her piano to land. Further, she says she had the best job in the world teaching elementary music because of supportive administration, staff, and parents. Martin's legacy with the district is not only seen in past students who have had many opportunities to interact with her caring demeanor, but also in this wonderful gift, which will serve many students for years to come. Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you, Cynthia. And we are so grateful for all of the years that you were able to serve Ames. And I'm one of the many lucky students who benefited from having you as a teacher and also as a fellow singer. And we're really grateful for everything that you've done for the district. Thank you. All right. Next on our agenda this evening, we have our discussion items, beginning with our board committee updates. And we'll start this evening with the Equity Committee.
Seems like this meeting was quite a while ago. One thing I'll just note, the new leaders presentation there and the stuff that Julius is bringing through was really interesting. I look forward to seeing how that moves forward. So, but anybody have any questions on anything else in the notes from that meeting? Okay.
And second, we have the Policy Committee.
Policy Committee last met on August 31st, and we will talk about the items in discussion.
And with that, we'll move on to the policies for discussion.
All right. So most of these are just some updates, a few changes or content updates for 1.13, which is the staff technology use and social networking. That was updated to identify the director of communications as the person to grant approval for district logo, etc. And then let's see. The student progress reports and conferences was updated to reflect how we're doing secondary conferences this year. We'll look back at that again at the end of the school year or the summer after we know how this conference schedule went and if that's what we want to keep. 507.2 is the Narcan stock supply. That's a new policy that allows for provides policy around having Narcan supply in the buildings. And then 507.3 is the student disclosure of identity. It's a policy that we're required to have as a result of Senate File 496. And The last one, 508.3, supervision of students. That was one we recommend rescinding because it probably belongs in the admin handbook. Well, it does. That's what we decided a while back. We just didn't get it to the full board. Questions, comments?
Okay, very good. We will then move on to our public comments on discussion items. And let me pull up our online sheet here. Thank you, JD. Okay, so we do have one person sign up to speak under our discussion items, Hollis Hathaway. You may come up to the front here. Actually, for accessibility for the people who are listening at home, could you please come use the microphone? Thank you.
We really did discuss student transportation for extracurricular activities. So you kind of give me at a disadvantage because I don't know what's been discussed amongst yourselves. So can you tell me if anything?
So typically we don't interact with the public, but I will say the board also does not discuss items on the agenda outside of the board meeting, except for the policy committee would have discussed that in the policy committee meeting.
Okay. I guess my question is who decides if it's more important for a football player to be able to drive to practice or for my daughter who participates in dance, which is not offered to the school? How is that decision made? And you can't answer that.
You're right. But we can absolutely follow up with you following the meeting. And I'd be happy to chat after the meeting, or we can follow up with you via email as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Hollis. Okay, and we don't have anyone sign up to speak online on our discussion items, so I will go ahead and open our public forum and we'll read our statement on public comments. Residents of the district, students attending the district, parents or guardians of students attending the district, and district staff members may address the board about any topic relevant to the district, whether on the current agenda or not. Those who wish to speak must sign up at the beginning of the meeting. Speaker participation is limited to 3 minutes once per item. The views and opinions of citizens addressing the board do not necessarily reflect those of the board, district administration, or staff. Speakers are to remember that Iowa law prohibits the board from discussing specific employees, students, or their performance. Student speakers will state their name and school. Others will state their name and address. And we do not have anyone signed up to speak this evening. So I will go ahead and close our public forum and we'll move on to our consent agenda, and I'll entertain a motion.
Move the board approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second. Moved by Winfrey, seconded by Franzen. Superintendent Lawson, gifts to the district.
Yes, thank you. The superintendent's office received the completed Form 4 and recommends acceptance of the following gifts. From Cynthia Martin, a Steinway M 1974 piano valued at approximately $12,000 for the benefit of the Ames High Orchestra. Mia and Chad Johnson, the donation of various cheer equipment valued at approximately $1,100 for the benefit of Ames High Cheerleading. An anonymous donor who donated a Yamaha alto saxophone valued at approximately $800 for the benefit of the Ames Middle School Band. Hawk Chemical, who donated approximately $300 in miscellaneous school supplies for the benefit of Fellows Elementary, and $155 cash donated from the class of 1972's Meeker Elementary alum for the benefit of Meeker Elementary School. And those are the gifts to the district this evening.
Thank you. It was moved by Winfrey, seconded by Franzen to accept the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Passes 7-0. And I think I skipped something here. No, okay. Moving on, our next item is our student representative board and staff items. And we'll begin this evening with items from our student representatives. And if you missed the last meeting, we do have 2 new student representatives joining us this school year. Anish Shrotria, did I say that right? Okay. And Lauren Smith, so welcome. And do either of you have any items that you'd like to share this evening? Okay, that is perfectly fine. Well, welcome. We're very excited to have you. And next, we'll move on to items from the board. I do not have any requests for staff this evening. Are there other items from the board? Okay, items from the superintendent?
No items from the superintendent this evening.
Okay. We'll move on to our board planning calendar. Our next regular meeting will be September 25th. We will be meeting at 5 p.m. that evening due to the Ames High Homecoming Parade, which begins at 6:30 that evening. Any questions or comments on the board planning calendar? All right. Well, since we just started, we will take just a 2-minute recess to kind of reset the room for our work session, and we will end our live broadcast at this time.